Hello, and welcome to another exciting edition of the Brain Ladle Trivia Podcast. I am your host, Davo. With me, as always, we have Kells.
Hello, everyone.
We have Andy.
How you doing, Chewbacca?
That's not nice to say to our friend Allison.
2 claps and a flare. Woo!
And we have Neil. Hi, Neil.
Happy social distancing, everybody.
Well, speaking of social distancing, I want to just take a few minutes to say we really appreciate all the support we've gotten. We've actually added a couple of new patrons. We've had some discussions with other patrons, and we've actually heard a few things about how our little tiny trivia show is helping people get through the social distancing, voluntary staying at home, working at home sort of thing. And we just want to say we are very happy to do this. This is very fun for us. We want to continue doing it for as long as we possibly can, and maybe even farther. So thank you all for listening. And if we can bring just a little bit of humor and a little bit of bright spot to an otherwise chaotic, strange, and somewhat infectious world we have right now, we're very happy to do it. Right, guys?
Absolutely.
You're here.
Yes.
So without further ado, Neil, what are we doing?
We're going to play some trivia.
Yay.
Every week we have a theme, and in that theme there's 6 categories of 4 questions each. Each question's worth 10 points, a few bonus points thrown in, and there's a final question which is worth up to 100 points. And today's topic is provided by, I believe, one of our newest patrons, Barry Schockle.
Hey, Barry.
Ooh.
Hey, Barry. Thank you.
Barry.
Normally when Barry, this is, I think, his 4th quiz that he sent in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome. And I did less editing on this one than I did on most of the others. So this is, I think, one question I replaced. I might have rearranged a couple others. And I just want to warn the players.
Oh, God.
No.
Okay, Allison. It's going to be all right.
Saying it out loud.
No. It's not like that, Allison. When I say the word that is today's topic, a song usually pops into my head, and I just want to warn anybody not to say what might pop into your head, because it may turn up later.
Okay.
All right. The theme today is war.
Oh,
Ah.
that was more difficult than I thought.
That was right over the
Yeah.
plate.
I know what you mean now because you want to finish that sentence.
All right. So category 1 is science.
Of course. Really? The other
Yes.
people writing in? Okay,
I
fine.
already wrote it down before I even started recording.
You're a quick
I'm going to
study.
create a template, a Word document template, so we can just all have it ready.
This is Barry's idea of science, not mine. So
Oh.
We love you, Barry.
Okay. no
Cool.
like
Science.
chemical atomic numbers or anything like that. It's reasonable.
Okay.
Question 1. What was the name of the research and development undertaking during World War II that produced the first nuclear weapons, including the atomic bomb?
Locked in.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in too, but I'm scared. Like, I just feel like it was too easy, and I'm not used to that.
Don't
I'm
overthink
locked
it.
in.
Yeah,
Oh,
don't ever.
God.
Kels,
The Manhattan Project.
Devo,
The Manhattan Project.
Andy,
Manhattan Project.
and Allison.
Manhattan Project. I can already tell that Barry is my boy.
Yeah. I'm liking Barry a lot.
All right, question 2. One of the first inventions to change warfare was the longbow. The English army, led by Henry V, famously used the longbow to achieve victory in spite of the numerical superiority of its opponent in what famous battle fought on October 25th, 1415 during the 100 Years' War? Name that battle.
Where
I
am
know.
I right now?
I've won battles with an Empire Total War, but we didn't name them.
Locked in.
Locked in.
With a longbow.
Oh, that's probably real stupid because I have no idea when this battle took place.
I don't have a clue. Locked in.
Is that
Sure.
everybody?
Yeah, I wrote something down.
Okay, Deva,
The Battle of Agincourt.
Andy,
Battle of Long Punt.
Allison,
I put Battle of the Bulge because I wanted to say bulge on here.
Thank you.
and Kels.
Bulge.
Well, I missed this store so much that I never really get a chance to shout it out. So I said Hastings.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, apart from the correct answer, Kels, you were probably closest. The correct answer is the Battle of Agincourt
Oh,
or
Wow.
Agincourt.
You know, I in my youth, back in the day, I wrote a 20-page term paper on the longbow.
Wow.
wow.
What?
Yeah,
You
Okay.
really did study Dungeons and Dragons when you were in your
it was my hey,
You were a D&D
and look
You
creature.
picked that. You picked that.
look where I am today.
That wasn't forced on
No,
you.
I chose that. It was amazing.
Of course.
Your email address was Dungeon Master, but you know.
Dungeon Master Blaster.
Yeah.
Question 3. I feel like this question or some version of this question was used before, but it wasn't by me, so I'm not positive. The first known use of a submersible craft in war was a tiny one-man submarine propelled through the water by means of a treadle-driven propeller and a hand-operated crank. In what war was this first submarine used? And for a bonus, what was its name?
Ooh. Locked in. And we did use this because I got it wrong the first time and ended up doing a little research because I was sure you were wrong and you weren't. Like,
No, no.
I'm locked in.
You gave yourself an extracurricular project and you're still wrong.
yeah,
Mm.
because I was so sure I knew the answer the first time around.
I'm locked in, I guess.
Yeah, I'm locked in.
All right. Andy?
It is the turtle from the American Revolutionary War, specifically 1776. I said the last time that it was the Hunley in the Civil War.
Allison?
Oh God. Well, I put World War One. Now I feel dumb. And just took a stab at the guess, and I said the U-boat for the guess on the bonus.
You're not
Kels?
too far off.
I also said World War One, so don't feel too bad, Allison.
Okay. Whew.
Well, you're assuming that Andy's right.
Yeah, he did a term paper on it.
Oh
Remember?
yeah. Devo?
The Revolutionary War, and I said the Sherman.
The
Yes.
correct answer is the Revolutionary War, the American Revolutionary War, and the ship was named the Turtle.
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 It actually was used to blow up a British ship that was
Wow.
blockading the Hudson River.
Did they stick explosives on a pole and kind of stab it?
Yeah,
Something like
long
that. Yeah,
stick.
basically.
It was a long stick, and to clarify for the other two, the turtle was an extremely like something you'd build in your own garage, ridiculously
Like-
lightweight, very
soapbox
shallow.
derby type thing.
Yeah, it could only be used in a bay. The Hunley in the Civil War was the first that had actual propulsion in it, but it too was really extraordinarily experimental, and in fact, it sunk. But the U-boat the Germans did in World War One, they are the first country to truly successfully build a fleet of them and use them in war.
Okay.
So you guys are really not far off at all.
Thanks, Mr. Wizard.
I mean, 150 years is all.
Yeah, but
I mean,
it's like comparing the Wright brothers plane to a 747.
Not too far off. All right, question 4. Who invented a spring-loaded rapid-fire cyclic multi-barrel gun used in the U.S. Civil War?
Locked in.
Locked in.
Oh man, I like my joke answer.
So does the dog.
I'm locked in.
Allison?
You would go to me first. Okay. I said Red Rider.
Nice.
Yeah. How many
Nice.
eyes were lost in the Civil War?
Mhm.
Just one.
Kels?
I said the Gatling.
Devo?
Gatling.
And Andy?
Richard Gatling.
I don't know what his first name was, but it was Gatling. Actually, now I have to check that.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Andy, why do you do this to yourself?
What did I do?
I hope it's Richard Gatling.
No, I'm right.
It was Richard Gatling.
But sometimes, Andy, you overshoot your shot.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's true. But I was very confident with that. It comes up in my Civil War period part of the class.
Not much. It's not commonly known, Andy, that Gatling had a partner when he was inventing it.
Uh-huh.
Gosh.
There we go.
Adolphus Nerf was his name, and he took those designs and later used them to create adorable toys for children.
Nicely done.
All right.
Woo.
We got some scores?
Yeah, at the end of round one, I've got Allison with 10, Kels with 20, Andy with 32, and Deva with 40.
Wow.
Oh, nicely done, Davo.
Just giving the Jet Nelson hand raise there. Just like, yeah.
The end of Breakfast Club.
For me, I aced the science category. I can leave detention now.
Wow. Yeah.
Category 2 is movies.
Oh.
And I just want to point out that Barry really likes MASH.
Who doesn't?
Okay.
Seen it.
Never seen it.
Question 1. Who is the only main actor to star in both the movie and the TV version of MASH?
Locked
Looking
in.
for the actor.
What was his name?
Wow, no, I probably got it wrong. Give Dave a straight one.
Okay.
I think this one person is in it. I'm so sorry, Barry. I'll educate myself while I'm locked in my home.
I'm locked in.
All right, Deva.
Well, it was the dude who played Radar, and his first name is Gary, and that's all I got.
Andy.
Aw.
Gary Berghoff.
Of course it was Gary
no.
Berghoff.
Allison.
Oh, I guessed Alan Alda because I'm pretty sure he's in MASH. No?
He was in MASH.
He was in MASH, but he was not in the movie.
Okay. Whew. I'll take it.
Moral victories are a victory nonetheless.
I think his character was played by
Elliot Gould.
shoot, I just had it.
Wasn't it Elliot Gould?
No. No. It was the other guy, Donald Sutherland.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Kels?
Alan Alda.
Well, the correct answer is Gary Berghoff, who played Radar. Devo, I'm going to take pity.
Yay.
Because you got 2 out of those 3 data points. I'll give you half points for that one.
Yay.
But he's already winning.
Right?
It's just the way it goes. Question 2. One of the most well-known war films is The Dirty Dozen from 1967, where Army Major Reisman must take a group of convicted criminals behind enemy lines to lead them on a suicide mission to destroy a German stronghold and kill all the German officers. Who played the role of Major Reisman?
Locked in.
Locked in.
Pretty sure. See, I always get this movie mixed up with
MASH.
No, they were Expendable. There's like 2 or 3 variations of this movie.
You get it mixed up with the Expendables? I mean, that's weird. That's
No.
just weird.
No, I'm
Probably not. I can think of a lot of people in this movie.
You've never seen it, so you're gonna like my answer.
Say,
Such a good
Allison,
movie.
how do you feel about watching violent movies?
I'm not a big fan. Just
Oh,
yeah.
I'm locked
and
in.
and would you say that violence is a critical component of war?
I would say
Oh
that.
yeah. So those two facts lead me to believe you're in a pretty deep hole right now.
Oh yeah.
I seem to remember way back on question 1 where Allison praised Barry for his questions, and
And then it went
now
Yeah.
you're in,
downhill rapidly. Still love you, Barry, but no, I'm not getting any of these questions right. Are we waiting on me? Okay, I got some.
all right, Andy, what's your answer?
Lee Marvin.
Allison?
I said Rayeth Guyeth.
Always
Kels?
popular.
I know he's in this movie, but I seriously doubt he was it sergeant, lieutenant, or what was his
Major?
rank? Captain?
Major.
Major.
Oh, well,
I
I
know
seriously
him.
doubt he was the major. But,
Shout out to
Different major.
Major.
but I said Jim Brown.
Deva.
Lee Marvin.
Correct answer is Lee Marvin.
Academy
Nice.
Award.
And this is the movie where Telly Savalas plays a really weird character,
His
rapey
name was Maggot.
character, right?
His name is Maggot.
Yeah, his last name was Maggot.
Yeah.
His last name was Maggot.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
You know, there's a character from the Lord of the Rings named Maggot, Farmer Maggot. He grew mushrooms.
He did.
Wow.
He was a hobbit.
They kept stealing Farmer Maggot's crop.
He
Those
did.
tricksy hobbits.
Those rascals. Question 3. In 1941, this famous actor starred in Sergeant York about Alvin York, a Tennessee hillbilly sharpshooter who claimed to be a pacifist but wound up becoming a World War I hero. This actor's performance won him the Academy Award for Best Leading Actor. Name him.
Locked
And
in.
I have an easy mode if you need it for half points.
I'll take the easy
I
mode. I have an
mean,
idea. But I'll
yeah.
take
Yes, please.
Kels, what you locked in? So Andy and Kels locked in?
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
locked in.
Okay. So the easy mode is he won his second Best Actor Oscar for High Noon in 1952.
poop. I'm locked in.
Bless it. Okay, I got something.
All right, Allison, what's your answer?
Well, I assumed that this movie has all white people. And then
That narrows it down to white actors from 1941.
Oh,
and I figured it was not an ethnic person. So I
Again,
chose the
you're narrowing it
right
down.
on the money.
One could argue
You're
that
honing it.
one could argue that white
I'm
European
down to
is an
98%
ethnicity.
of Hollywood in 1941.
So I picked a name that seemed to fit the bill, and I said Cooper.
Okay,
What?
Whoa.
Allison. I mean, Kels.
Gary Cooper.
No, there's
Devo?
literally no way.
Gary Cooper.
Deva.
There's not. I have to leave and go buy a lottery ticket.
And Andy.
Gary Cooper.
The correct answer is Gary Cooper.
I'm sweating again.
So trivia nugget. Alvin York was one of the most decorated U.S. soldiers of the war. He received a Medal of Honor for leading an attack against a German machine gun post, killing 20 soldiers and taking 132 prisoners.
Good gravy.
Wow.
He had this system, and he said it was based on how he used to shoot birds. That you would want it, like people would naturally like start shooting at the front of the group, but he would start shooting at the back of the group, so they wouldn't notice they were falling.
Oh wow.
And that's how he took the machine gun nest. Is that he was kind of well hidden, almost like a sharpshooter, and just taking them off one by one. And when they realized what was going on, they presumed they were surrounded, and it was just him.
Wow.
All right, question 4. Speaking of snipers, American Sniper from 2014 starred Bradley Cooper playing the role of real-life Navy SEAL sniper Chris Kyle, called the most lethal sniper in U.S. history. Who directed that movie?
Locked in.
Oof.
I've never seen the movie.
Locked in.
Really? Okay.
Oh, locked in.
I have a trivia nugget for post question.
Of course, it had to be post question
Right.
Mm-hmm.
because you give it away.
Oh,
Well,
does it? We could do it right
wait.
now.
Yeah.
I'll hold off.
Okay, I got something written down.
Kels, what's your answer?
I went with Mr. Eastwood, Clint.
Oh.
Devo?
Clint Eastwood.
Andy?
I think I got it mixed up with Blazing Saddles. I said Mel Brooks.
They are similar.
Yeah. I get those two movies
Wow.
mixed up all the time.
Allison?
Yeah, I wrote down Angelina Jolie. I don't know what the heck I was thinking of.
Just interesting. All right. Well, the correct answer is Clint Eastwood.
Rats.
Does anybody have a trivia nugget about this movie?
Well, yes, I do, Neil. All right, ready. During the shooting of the movie, there was a scene where he had come back from the war, and he had, you know, the nugget I'm talking about.
I do.
He came back, and he was trying to adjust to normal life, and he had his wife and his little baby, and he was awake, and he was stressed out, and he was freaking out with the PTSD symptoms, and he's holding a baby. Well, when they were shooting the scene, their first baby that they had, first baby actor was sick, and the second baby actor wouldn't stop crying, so they ended up having to use a doll. And it is the most obvious doll you've ever seen ever. He's sitting there trying to act all, freaked out, and there's a little baby doll with the little baby doll hand on his finger, and he's wiggling his finger to try to indicate the baby was
No.
Yes.
It was so bad. He actually had to answer questions during the press junket about it. The interviewers were like, "What's up with the baby?" It's cringeworthy YouTube content.
Like I was sitting in the theater and like next to my friend, I was like, I think that baby is fake. It's not moving.
You ready for some scores?
Always.
Oh, yeah.
No.
At the end of round 2, Allison has 15, Kels 40, Andy 62, and Davo 70.
Oh, I'm still.
Oh no,
chasing
why do I
Devo.
just have 15?
I don't think you've answered very
Because you
many
got
right.
the easy
Right.
mode.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
you got gagged.
totally got the easy mode, which is okay. Never mind. I deserve
Don't talk
it.
yourself out of it.
Nope,
Yeah.
you're right. I deserve it. I should have 10. Let's be real. I guessed my way into that. So
All right, our next category is television.
Oh,
And here's another MASH question.
of course it is.
Question 1. Only 2 of the actors on MASH actually ever served in the military in Korea. Name each of them for 5 points each.
Oh.
Oh my
We have to
god.
name the actors or the characters.
I'll let you go either way.
Okay.
I'm locked in.
yep, locked in.
Me and Allison are probably on the same page. Because as of 5 minutes ago, I know 2 people from it.
I'm locked in with
Trivia nugget, but I'm not going to say it right now, of course.
Oh, it won't help.
And-
So
Yeah.
It really won't.
All right, Andy.
I'm drawing a blank on actors' names, but it's Sherman Potter and Colonel Blake.
Okay. Allison.
well, I put Alan Alda as one of them. And then the other one, I put Gary Blank because I can't remember what y'all said earlier.
Oh, you mean the dude who played
But
Radar?
as an- Uh-huh. But as a side note, I said I'm really hoping one of them is a lady.
Mm.
In the
So-
Korean War.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, was
Hey,
it?
why
Did
not?
you say Korean?
Yeah.
Ah, screw it. Well, I mean, hold on. Let edit this out, but let me rant for a second. If you're
I
a
didn't say they were male or female.
if you're a nurse, you serve, right? Or no?
Yes, there were
Oh,
female.
that's true. You're right. Okay.
for-
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
in every
That's what I
war.
was thinking. Okay.
Yeah, just ask Hot Lips Houlihan. She'd tell you she served.
I get that actually. I know that reference.
All right, Kels.
Alan Alda and Gary Bergdorf.
Berghoff.
Berghoff is one of them. It's not right.
David?
I also
David?
kind of went the age route and went with Sherman Potter and Colonel Blake.
And Andy.
You've already taken my answer. I was first. Sherman Potter and Colonel Blake.
Okay, you're right.
Yes.
Well, neither of them actually served in the Korean War, but two of the actors served with the U.S. Army in Korea after the war. Alan Alda completed the minimum 6-month tour of duty as a gunnery officer in 1956, and Jamie Farr
I almost guessed.
wore his actual dog tags on the show.
Wow.
Hmm.
Who did Jamie Farr play?
Colonel
Klinger.
Corporal Klinger, the cross dresser.
Yeah.
Oh,
He decided that he wanted to get out of the army. It was kind of a catch-22 thing. He decided to want to get out of the army, so he wore dresses to try to get a Section 8. But because it was so obvious that's what he was doing, they decided he was sane to get out, and so they wouldn't let him out.
And trivia nugget. If you're into MASH, the one cast member you can say absolutely for certain did not serve would have been Gary Berghoff, because he was born with a birth defect. One of his hands didn't work, and in fact,
Really?
it was one of those things where like the hand stopped growing when he was a child. If there's a name for that, and I've forgotten it. And in fact, that's why he always in almost every scene he's like holding a clipboard or something. They took great pains to hide the hand in almost every scene.
Really?
Yeah, but yeah, I think it was his left hand was completely didn't do anything.
Oh, I just looked that up, and there's a picture of him holding a football on the show, and sure enough, his hand is not. It looks like it's just kind of his fingers are like really short. Interesting. Well, Kels and Allison accidentally got half points. Davo and Andy intentionally got 0 points.
Yeah, that's how it works sometimes.
See how I did
I
that?
do.
We scrape for points. Well, not Kels. Kels normally dominates. I'm a scraper.
Question 2. Hogan's Heroes is an American television sitcom set in a German prisoner of war camp during World War II. Who starred as Colonel Hogan?
Locked in. Love this show.
Come on,
I know nothing. That's all I know from that show.
I am going to punt.
Oh, right guy.
Allison.
I mean, I might need to do the same, but nah, it's all right. I'll write something
Well,
down.
I said I was going to punt, and then Kel said Ray Guy.
Oh,
Right guy.
hang time.
There you go.
There you
Gotta
go.
get your first one in there.
Got it.
I'm locked in.
All right, is that everybody?
No. Sure.
Oh.
Sure. This kit got stuck in my head, so I wrote it down.
All right, Allison.
Again, assuming it's a white dude.
You are correct. I know that much.
So I
Positive.
I started thinking white guys' last names. And one of them just got stuck in my head over and over again. And I don't even know a famous person other than John Oliver with this last name, but I said Oliver.
Okay. You sure you didn't mean Olivier?
Very.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
But no, I can tell you though that Laurence Olivier wasn't in.
That would have been
No.
much more interesting.
I
though.
wouldn't
Been
know
that
any
bad.
better.
It would have made it much more interesting.
Yeah.
Kels.
I said Terry Bollea, aka Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's Ron Hogan.
Mm.
Devo, you punted, if I
You
recall.
are correct, sir.
Still in
And
there.
Andy is going to give us the answer.
I can't believe because it's also one of the more famous unsolved Hollywood murders. It's Bob Crane.
It
Who?
is Bob Crane.
Bob Crane.
So he was pretty successful with this TV show. He felt like he was being typecast after the show, and so he basically ended up after the show doing like dinner theater and stuff. But apparently, he had a predilection for videotaping his sexual escapades with his friends. He used to hang out with Richard Dawson, who was also on the show, and they would go pick up women and record themselves in flagrante, I guess is the way you put it.
Wow.
But yeah, then he was found sometime later, bludgeoned to death in his apartment, and nobody officially knows who did it.
I had never heard that.
A little more family friendly trivia nugget. Does anybody know what two cast members of Hogan's Heroes genuinely were in a German concentration camp?
LeBeau?
That's correct. That's one.
Two
How
of
many
them
were
don't even know the
there?
show
Two.
existed before the question was asked, Andy.
Yeah. No.
I've heard of Hogan's Heroes. I know nothing. That's all
And
I know.
that's the other one, Sergeant Schultz. Both were Jewish, and both had been in German concentration camps in World War II.
Wow.
Interesting. All right. Question 3. Band of Brothers is a 2001 American World War II drama miniseries based on historian Stephen E. Ambrose's 1992 nonfiction book of the same name. Name either of the two famous executive producers.
Locked in.
Locked in.
If you can name both, I'll give you a bonus.
Okay.
I know one.
I think I know both.
Okay.
I know one, and I'm guessing on the other one.
I'm gonna take your first one as the answer,
That's
and your
fair.
second one as the bonus.
That's
Okay.
what I have.
I'm going to do that then.
I have, when we're done with this question, I have a historical trivia nugget.
Wow. A lot of
Yeah.
trivia nuggets in this game.
Yeah.
This soup is overflowing.
I took too
Someone
long, but
flush all these nuggets.
I'm gonna punt. I don't even have a guess.
Oh, Ray guy.
Hang time.
Hang time.
All right, Kels, what's your answer?
All right. I know for sure Tom Hanks, but the one I was going to guess on was Ron Howard.
Okay. David?
Tom Hanks, and for the bonus, I put Steven Spielberg.
Ooh,
Andy?
even better.
Tom Hanks, and I guessed Steven Spielberg as well.
And Allison punted. The correct answers are Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg.
Wow.
Well done, guys.
Yes.
So the historical trivia nugget is not so much a historical trivia nugget, it's a historian trivia nugget. So Stephen Ambrose wrote a bunch of these kinds of historical works. He got very famous for them. Well, it turned out that he didn't do any of his own research. His grad students would do it, and he would not credit them in his works.
He took all the credit.
He did.
I heard that about his last book, Davo, but I didn't realize that was standard. I know the book on the Transcontinental Railroad, he got busted on that because
They started looking back, and
okay.
It's just one of those. If you're in the historical grad school situation, it's kind of understood that sometimes the class you're taking is for the purposes of your professor to write a book.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you're
I
going
took a class like that.
I did too. and most professors, at least reputable ones, are pretty upfront about it and say, I'm writing a book and you guys are helping me with my research, and they will credit the class in the book. Well, he didn't. and they really started digging into how his research tactics, and he also got accused of plagiarism.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And actually, the magazine I worked for played a key role in that because I used to work for a railroad history magazine. And he plagiarized for his transcontinental book. He plagiarized a fluff book produced by the Union Pacific about 75 years earlier.
yeah.
And one of his grad students thought it was an academic book. But at our magazine, we were all familiar with the book we had in our library. And we're like, wait a minute, this looks familiar. And it was bogus. It wasn't good history. It was written by the company.
So be critical thinkers out there, people.
That's right.
All right, question 4. Here's another old TV show.
Oh, good.
Oh, please be F Troop.
Oh, loved F Troop.
It's not F Troop.
Oh.
This American television program that aired from 1962 until 1967 covered the grim lives of a squad of American soldiers fighting the Germans in France during World War II. It starred Rick Jason as platoon leader 2nd Lieutenant Gil Hanley and Vic Morrow as Sergeant Chip Saunders. Name the TV show.
Locked in.
I was hoping it would be Rat Patrol.
No.
Oh.
All right. I am going to put words on the page.
Yeah, I'm locked in.
Yeah, I've got something.
Devo?
I put Springtime in Paris.
Andy?
Yeah, I locked in with Rat Patrol. I was sure I was right. And then Davo said, I thought it was going to be Rat Patrol.
Allison?
Well, I wrote down something. Well, sometimes, I don't know if Barry's like this, but sometimes the category, it like matches it always matches the questions, but it like is the answer if you remember it.
Yes.
So I wrote down combatant, and then I was like, I don't know what that is. So I crossed that out. And I wrote down just war, hoping that maybe he was being
Cheeky.
Allison, you're going to kick yourself in here.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
I think I know.
There's no way
Kelsey?
combatant is a show.
I'd say Kelly's Angels.
No, Allison, it is not
Com-
combatant. However, I probably would have
It is
given you half
combat.
points because the correct answer is combat!
Combat.
Yeah.
Exclamation mark.
Awesome. There was an
Vaguely
exclamation
remember that
point
now.
after the word war when I wrote it. Does that?
I got the punctuation right.
I'll give you 1 point per punctuation.
Yay!
Take it.
Okay. I shall take my point.
You just begged your first pity point on the show. Well done.
Woo!
At the end of round 3, Allison has 21, Kels 55, Davo 82, and Andy 84.
Ooh.
Mm.
Of course, you know,
Almost taking
Davo,
over
this
the lead.
means war. Oh,
Let's move on to history.
Crap on a cracker.
What was your major, Davo? I
It
forget.
was history.
Dungeons
History.
and Dragons history.
Mhm.
I studied the real history after the Industrial Age.
History.
I can't even argue with you. That sucks.
Question 1. The Tuskegee Airmen were a group of African American and Caribbean born military pilots who fought in World War II. What was the nickname given to these pilots because of their unique paint jobs on their planes?
Locked in.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, I have a
I
guess.
think
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in. I think I know. Ba-da-ha-boop-a-doo.
Took me a minute.
I lost the power of speech for a moment.
Allison, was that a lock in from you?
I
or are you
mean,
still
I
thinking?
took an absolute guess, and I feel shameful I don't know this answer.
Okay, well, go ahead and tell us your
Oh,
shame.
no.
Can you type that, Kels?
Man.
I kind of want that as a text tone.
So you said it's had something to do with the paint job. So I was like, I'm sure it has a color in it. And I bet it has the word flyers in it.
Ooh.
And then I guess this is so dumb. I guess the red-nosed flyers. Like,
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
am I
Oh
close?
my god!
I'm smelling some pity points in your future there, Allison.
Yeah.
You're almost there.
I actually cringed when she gave that answer.
Yeah,
Oh
Like,
God.
oh.
Was it?
you
I
do
can't
that.
wait to hear what it is because I still don't know the answer. But
Kels, what's your answer?
All right. Tuskegee Airmen is a really good HBO original movie. I did not like this movie. It was Red Tails.
okay.
Devo?
Rung into the plane, Allison. It's the red tails.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Andy?
Red tails. But to be fair to Allison, the noses of the plane were also painted red.
That's exactly what I was thinking when I gave her 5 points for that answer.
I'm the queen of pity points. Somebody make me a t-shirt.
Question 2. The bloodiest battle of the Civil War, with more than 51,000 casualties, including almost 8,000 dead, was fought from June 3rd to July 24th. That's not right. It was fought in 1863. Name. It was 4 days. I don't. We've got
It was
June 3rd
5
to
days.
July 24th. Yeah, so I think it was.
It was 5 days.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, name the bloodiest war or bloodiest battle of the Civil War. And for a bonus, who was leading the Union Army?
Locked in.
Oh man, I got one stuck in my head, but I'm
Lock
gonna
in.
lock in with the other one and put the one I had in my head in parentheses. This is in the Industrial Revolution, so I have no idea.
Yeah, they were
Andy,
using gunpowder.
Yeah, what's up with that?
And Gatling guns.
Yeah,
Andy,
Yeah.
I have it knocked down to 2, and I know both of them are wrong. But what I need you to understand, whenever we teach together again, I did not get my degree in American history. I don't know much about it. You know everything about it. I've just
I don't think I know.
just don't shame me in front of the students.
I will not shame you.
I got my degree in medieval history, and he does nothing but shame me.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's different, Davo.
Oh.
You have a lot of
Open
shame.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My degree's in business administration.
Yeah, but you're.
I'm gonna say this. I'm locked in with all of my answers.
I just need to pick one. God, I hope one of these is from the Revolutionary War, and I'm gonna feel like I'm a real ass. Okay.
It's the trick.
Okay, I got one.
All right, Kels, what's your answer?
I know for sure it's Antietam. I say that and watch it not be that. And I just guess Sherman.
Okay,
That's the general.
Deva.
Well, I said Gettysburg with Antietam in parentheses to make myself feel slightly better, and I said Grant.
Andy.
It's Gettysburg, and the Union General was George Meade.
And
Oh
Allison.
God. Okay, I said Antietam, but
Antietam
Andy,
was a good guess.
don't take away my teaching rights. I said Scott as the leader. That might
That's
not.
not bad.
Okay.
Winfield Scott
Okay.
was involved at some point.
Yeah,
At some point, right? He was there.
Yes.
sure.
Anaconda strategy, man.
Yep.
The correct answer is the Battle of Gettysburg. And the Union Army was led by Major General George Meade, who had taken over from General Hooker like 3 days earlier.
Mhm.
You said hooker.
I know. That's the only reason I said that.
Trivia nugget. The Battle of Gettysburg, that was one of the most decisive battles in the war. It gave Lincoln the cover he needed to push forward the Emancipation Proclamation. Of course, the Gettysburg Address. All of this got started because the Union Army was looking for shoes. Or, I'm sorry, the Confederate Army was looking for shoes. And they thought there were shoes in Gettysburg, and they accidentally ran into the Union Army.
Whoops.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah.
Another trivia nugget about mead: it is a delicious alcohol.
Sure.
You guys know why I should have gotten that right?
Why?
Remember the Titans is one of my favorite movies, and he makes them run like multiple miles to get to the battlegrounds of the Battle of Gettysburg, and I pretty much have that speech memorized that he says.
Okay.
I should
Not the Lincoln speech, but the speech
nah.
from the. Yeah,
No, the famous one.
not,
It's hard.
not one of the greatest American speeches of all time, but the
Yeah,
No.
one from.
remember the Titans.
I have the greatest one memorized.
Come on.
So
Yeah.
The greatest speech is in Lord of the Rings when
Oh,
oh,
No,
never
it's not.
mind. Yes, it is.
no, it's not.
Yeah.
Question 3. Let's move on. This World War II battle, fought between the 23rd of August 1942 to the 2nd of February 1943, caused about 2 million casualties and stands as one of the century's worst military disasters. I think by that he means it's the bloodiest, deadliest battle ever. So name this battle.
Ooh.
I'm locked in.
crap.
Oh. I'm just. It's got to be this.
See, this happened in Europe, Andy. This is a little tougher for you.
You know what? I will agree with you and have an answer to that after we give our answers.
I'm locked in.
Nope, I have to rethink my whole life after that comment.
See, Davo?
Nope, screw it. I have to stick with what I put.
Ooh, Major has no idea how close he came to being divorced just in this moment. That's just,
Over.
halfway through the game, I rethought my whole life, and well, if you could just pack up, Mage.
I'm
Take
moving to
boy.
Key West. We're out of here.
I'm gonna be a trivia roadie.
Hey, Dava, what's your answer?
Stalingrad.
Oh,
Andy?
man.
Battle of Stalingrad. I was stuck on American battles, and then it hit me like, no, Stalingrad.
That's a way better answer than what I put. I put Battle of the Midway because I was thinking of that new movie I haven't seen.
Kels?
I said the Blitz of London.
All right. The correct answer is the Battle of Stalingrad.
Man, this has been educational tonight.
That's what we strive for: education
Mhm.
and entertainment,
And shame.
Lots
and a
of
bit of shame.
A little shame. A little dash of shame.
Do you know what Stalingrad's known as now? Because they changed their name.
Stalingrad would have to be St. Petersburg, I think.
Oh.
That's not.
That was
Maybe
Leningrad.
that's Leningrad. Yeah. I don't know.
It's Volgograd.
What do you know?
Volgograd.
I would not have gotten that.
Volgograd. Because it's on the Volga River.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Question 4. What famous anti-war protester said on February 17th, 1966, "I ain't got no quarrel with them Viet Cong"?
Locked in.
Locked in.
Yeah, I'm gonna be really
Me too.
sad.
I got down between two people, and the second person's more well spoken than that, so I'm going with this guess.
Wow.
I feel disrespected.
I'm locked in.
I have something written down that I'm gonna be mad at myself about. So
Andy?
I don't know this quote. And so at first I thought Abby Hoffman, but I think Abby Hoffman's too well spoken for that. So I went with Country Joe McDonald.
Ooh.
Allison?
Skip.
we have a new level to the game. The skip.
I mean,
Just skip.
now
Done screwing around.
Oh God. Well, now I feel like I need to educate myself on a time frame. Do I have to say what I wrote?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
I wrote Muhammad Ali or Cassius Clay because I think those are the same people.
They are the
So
same people. They are the same people.
That's the right
Kels?
answer.
Cassius Marcellus
Yep.
Clay, also known as Muhammad Ali. You my opponent when I want freedom.
That's the right answer.
It sure is.
David?
Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, I mean, Kels, I'm almost tempted to say you're not right with Cassius Clay because he was not Cassius Clay anymore at the time.
Muhammad Ali.
I know you did. You saved yourself there.
No, I wasn't going to just say more. That's why he refused the term. Well, one of the reasons why he refused it.
One of the reasons, yeah.
Yeah.
I just watched the Ali movie a month or two ago. It's a pretty good movie.
Can I put it in my contract that I never go first? Because never go first or never have somebody else say the wrong answer before me because I'll just assume they're smarter and that I put something down.
You got it right.
Yeah, if you want to amend your contract and send it to me, we'll see what we
Okay.
can
Yeah,
do.
listen,
All
rookie,
right.
you're not really in a place yet to start making rules.
Yeah, the rookie contract is pretty ironclad, so you gotta wait till you renegotiate.
No, go get us our
contracts before you
Gatorade.
probably get that thrown in there.
All right, fair enough.
Anyway, that was a good pull, Allison.
Yeah.
Very good pull.
Very.
Anyway, Allison, you have 36 points. Kels has 75. Andy has 116, and Davo took the lead back and has 122.
And they're running away.
Let's talk about sports.
Why
I like
not?
sports ball.
Uh-oh.
This is gonna be painful.
War sports, huh? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
War
intrigued
sports.
how we have a sports category.
Well, Kels, there'll probably be an Olympics question.
Well, all sport is a proxy for battle.
Well, sure.
All right. Question 1 in sports. What sports icon was an active duty naval airman in World War II and again in Korea? He flew 37 combat missions in Korea, about half of which he was a wingman with John Glenn. And I have an easy mode if you need it.
Locked in.
Easy mode.
I'm locked in.
Nah,
Yeah,
easy mode for
I
me.
guess easy mode will have to do.
Okay, so Davo and Andy are locked in. Allison and Kels want the easy mode for half points. Easy mode, he was the last person to bat 400 in a season in 1941.
Nope.
I'm locked in.
Yeah, that made it harder.
I'm locked in.
At least now you know what sport.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I'm assuming if you know what batting 400 means, you know what
So
sport.
it's not cricket.
I mean, it
right?
could be cricket. I don't know how they keep score in cricket.
I'm going to pull a lifeline.
We don't have
Hold on.
lifelines.
Just hear me out.
Okay.
Is this a name that most people know?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I sincerely dislike baseball, but I know this name.
Okay, I'm locked in with something.
Let's start with Kels.
Teddy Ball Game, Ted Williams.
Davo?
Ted Williams.
Andy?
Ted Williams.
And
You
Allison.
guys are a bunch of liars. Never heard that human's name in my life. So I wrote down Babe Ruth, and yeah.
Okay. Well, the correct answer is Ted Williams.
Ah, fiddlesticks.
I have a trivia nugget about Ted Williams and how awesome he was.
It's because you're a Boston fan?
Oh,
Is
yeah,
that it?
yeah.
Oh, did he play for the Red Sox?
He played for the Boston Red Sox, the greatest baseball team.
So how many World
So-
Series did he win?
Yeah, how many?
Yeah, y'all can suck it. So he became a manager after his playing career ended, and he was managing in Texas in the late '60s, early '70s, and he was trying to help. He's trying to help the guys hit better because he's the greatest hitter of all time, and he was trying to instruct his charges. And he said, "Look, when that pitch is coming in, when the seams are rotating to the left, that means you need to do this, and when the seams are rotating to the right, that means you can do this." Meaning he could see the seams on a fastball as it was coming in.
Wow.
I've heard that story before.
That's insane. That's absolutely insane.
Here's a better trivia nugget.
No.
So John Glenn, who was his wingman for a while, said that Ted Williams was one of the best pilots that he knew. John Glenn's wife described him as the most profane man she ever met.
I
I
do not
dig
count.
that.
Again, Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boston.
All right, let's move on from Ted Williams. Question 2. WAR, or WAR. I'm going to start off by saying I have no idea what this question is saying, but I'm trusting Barry on this one.
I know what it is.
I know what it is.
WAR is an acronym used in baseball for a non-standardized sabermetric baseball statistic developed to sum up a player's total contributions to his team. What does WAR stand for?
Locked in.
Locked in.
Oh, Major's gonna
Holy
divorce
cow.
me. Okay. Okay, ooh, 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 I gotta guess. Oh, but maybe the A stands for something better.
I think I'm going to go take a nap. You want to let me know
I'm
when we're
in.
done?
I've got my dumb answer. Maybe you'll give me a pity point. Who knows?
I may give partial credit. We'll see. We'll see if you deserve any partial credit, I guess. Deva?
Wins above replacement.
Are you kidding me?
Wins above replacement.
Allison?
Well, I wrote down wins and runs, but then I was like, no, I've got a better answer. Walks and runs.
I think that's the on base percentage.
That is.
Isn't that on base percentage?
Yeah, man, it's fine. It's fine. So, no points for me.
Yeah, I'm going to have to say no.
Yeah,
Like your
no.
effort, though. That was nice.
Kels?
It's above replacement.
Correct answer is wins above replacement.
Can someone explain what that means?
Oh, Lord, do we have
Yes.
time for that?
I
Oh.
can succinctly.
Okay.
Actually, I only have the loosest idea how it works.
So wins above replacement, your rating in wins above replacement is if you take the average MLB player and compare your statistics to their statistics and how those measure up, and those are worth a number of wins above replacement, meaning you are worth literally 9 wins more than the average baseball player.
Okay.
And so if that gets to be a negative, then
You are pulled
You're
from
as
the
good
lineup,
as-
likely.
Question 3 in sports. Who was the Arizona Cardinal linebacker who turned down a contract offer of $3.6 million over 3 years to enlist in the U.S. Army in June 2002 in the aftermath of the September 11th attacks? He was killed by friendly fire in the mountains of Afghanistan on April 2nd, 2004.
I know his name.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm drawing a
No, his
blank.
first name. It's.
Oh.
I got a dumb guess.
I'm almost at dumb guess territory too.
I know his. I got his.
I got his first name, and I cannot.
All I have is his last name, and I swear that's all I need. I'm just panicking like I need to have his full name, and yeah.
I'm locked in. I had to look at my keyboard.
Was that how you use your brain palace? You look at your keyboard?
When I'm going through like a mental Rolodex, I tend to not visualize the alphabet properly.
Mm-hmm.
So I need like just little Kickstarters.
Oh,
So,
that's clever.
yeah.
Okay.
I will lock in.
All right. Andy, what's your answer?
Tillman.
God crap.
Allison?
Well, I wrote down something and then in all honesty, I crossed it out because I was like, that's a convict now. So, and all, but he died. And I was like, this person served in the military and lost his life. So I just wrote down thank you was my ultimate answer after I crossed
Well
out the
played.
other one.
Kels?
I knew Pat,
Yep.
and I was
That's what his
blanking
first
until
name
I looked
was.
at the T, and it's Pat Tillman.
I could not come up with that first
David?
name.
I knew it was Pat, but I got stuck on Pat McAfee, and it would not leave my brain. So I then said it was Ray Guy.
Wow.
Mm.
Ray Guy has been all over this episode.
All over.
The correct answer is Pat Tillman.
Hmm.
And question 4. In 1962, what city's basketball franchise was relocated to San Francisco and became known as the San Francisco Warriors until 1971, when its name was changed to the current Golden State Warriors?
Locked in.
Oh, I have no idea.
I'm looking for this city that they moved to San Francisco from.
I'm just going to throw a name down because it was the first name that came to my mind for some reason.
So you want the city that this team moved from San Francisco?
To San Francisco.
They moved to San Francisco, and where they are currently playing, you want the name of that city?
No.
No, where they were
It's in it.
before
Okay,
San
Davo,
Francisco.
here's the deal. There was a team in the NBA.
Yes.
Well, I assume the NBA. It might have been ABA. I don't know. But there was a team in 1962.
Right.
They moved to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 1971, they changed their name to the Golden State Warriors.
Yes.
What was the original city?
So when they were in St. Louis.
If that's
What just
your
happened?
answer, I guess.
Oh,
But I'm asking you for the city.
I just transcended time and space, apparently. I lost like a solid 2 minutes of my life.
Where am
I
I?
feel like I did too.
I'm locked in. I've been locked in.
Yeah, I wrote down
Yeah.
an answer
Thank you,
before.
Kels, for locking in promptly.
I've been
Yeah.
locked in for a while, sad to say, just so you know.
I'm going to lock in because I'm in Egypt.
Yeah, I wrote something down before Davo said that, so I guess I'll go with it.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, probably not.
Andy,
I locked in with Seattle.
Alice,
I also said Seattle because I thought the Washington Warriors had a nice sound to it.
It does.
Kels,
Philadelphia.
Oh.
and Davo.
Philadelphia.
I like the presumption. Oh, Cal's got something different. Cal's is right.
Fair presumption.
Well, Kels did lock in immediately.
Yeah.
The correct answer is the city of brotherly love,
Oh.
Philadelphia. Well, at the end of round 5, I mean, I'm getting to the point where I don't really like to say all the scores.
Yeah, that's fine. You just leave me
Okay,
off the list.
Alice?
Why do you have to start at the bottom?
We'll start it from the bottom.
Okay, I'll start at the top.
Yeah, I like that better.
Okay, Davo is in the lead with 152, followed closely by
Yay.
Andy at 146. Kel's in third place with 110.
Mm.
And Allison has 36 points.
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
Our final category tonight is music.
Oh,
Of
crap.
course it is.
Hey, here's another MASH song. MASH question.
Oh, come on.
What is the name? I think we've talked about this on the show. What is the name of the theme song of MASH?
Locked in.
Locked in.
Oh.
Locked in?
Yep, something's written down.
Andy?
Suicide is painless.
Yes.
Allison?
Come and knock on our door.
We've been waiting for you.
Kels?
Suicide is painless.
And Devo.
Suicide is painless.
I finally figured it out. I think when we talked about it, I don't know if it made it to the show, but Marilyn Manson did a cover of this song, and I think it was on the Blair Witch 2 soundtrack, and it's a
Oh.
really great version.
Is it?
Wow.
That's
I'll have to look into that.
That's an interesting soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's very kind of hard. It's kind of metal, kind of dark metal, I guess.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway, question 2: War was a 1970 number 1 hit for Edwin Starr. What are the first 2 lines of the song? And for a bonus, give me the third line too.
Okay.
Locked in.
This is why I gave that warning at the beginning of the show, because I had a feeling Andy was just going to shout this out.
I almost
Yeah.
I would have too.
I was on the verge of doing it until you said not to do it.
Okay, I'm locked in.
You know what? I'll give a double bonus on this one because I think it's interesting. Who originally recorded this song?
Locked in.
Andy.
Well,
Of
I have the album.
course you do.
I have a problem.
You do.
I'm a completist.
I'm locked in.
I think I got this. I don't know. This show gives me the yips.
Oh yeah.
It's real.
You got to work through those. You'll get there.
All right, Allison, what's your answer?
Alrighty. So I kind of got confused in the question, so I just wrote it all out.
Mhm.
Okay.
War, huh? What is?
Oh,
That's exactly how I wrote it out.
Me too.
Go ahead, please.
What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Sing it again now,
oh.
or say it again.
Okay.
I don't know. It's one of those. Okay.
Well, no, you those were 3 lines. So, and do you have a guess for who recorded it
Elvis?
originally? Kels?
War, who, yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. And I said Sly and the Family Stone.
Okay. Devo.
Well, we're all just slightly different. This is not good. I said war. Huh. Good God, y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again now. And the original person to record it was Frankie Valli.
Well-known war protester.
Oh.
Frankie Valli.
Valli. On a surfboard, he recorded it.
By the way, Barry did specifically say to provide leniency for the first line.
Oh,
Whew.
Barry's a peach.
Andy?
The say it again, y'all, came in the second part of when he repeats it. The first lines are war. Huh. Yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Uh-huh. Oh, it's Edwin Starr.
That was in the
That was in
question.
the question.
Oh, who did it? Well, Edwin Starr is the guy who did it originally.
Apparently.
Yeah,
He's
That
not?
is incorrect.
that's incorrect.
Oh.
But Kels, it wasn't Sly either.
I figured.
Who did
Anyway,
it?
you all basically got the question right and the bonus, the first bonus. I've got war, huh? Yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. So you guys all pretty much got that.
Okay.
It was originally recorded by a group known as the Temptations,
Really?
Really?
but it was decided that the Temptations fan base at the time was a little more conservative, and they didn't want to have an anti-war song, so they got Edwin Starr to record it.
Wow.
And if you ever listen to the Temptations version, that stuff isn't in there. That was all ad-libbed by Starr.
Good ad libs.
The Good God, y'all, and I think even Absolutely Nothing was ad-libbed. I don't think that was part of the Temptations version. Question 3. When receiving word of Lee's surrender to end the Civil War, some 3,000 people took to the streets of Washington, D.C. to celebrate. What song did President Lincoln ask the gathered band to play, saying, "I have always thought it was one of the best tunes I have ever heard"?
Locked in.
Andy. We have the album.
Wow.
Andy, how much did you pay Barry?
I love these questions.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
I'm locked in.
I can love them, but they hate
Yes.
me.
I'm going to lock in with this, although I think it's going to be the counter to this.
Yeah, sure. I got a thing.
Allison,
Yeah, you went to me first, didn't you?
it's your turn.
So I wrote down a song that makes absolutely no sense because you play it when people die, but
I mean, a lot of people did die in
I
the Civil War.
said taps.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Kels,
I said Dancing in the Street by Martha and the Vandellas.
Hey, that would have been awesome.
That would have been pretty epic.
Deva,
I wrote down Yankee Doodle Dandy, but I think the answer is
Ooh.
actually going to be Dixie.
Mm.
Andy,
I make my students do a big Civil War research project over Christmas break because I'm cruel. And one of the questions they have to answer is this question, and the answer is Dixie.
Dang it.
correct answer is Dixie. It sounds like, I mean, I don't know if he really liked it, but he apparently claimed that because the North won the war, they were able to reclaim the song as intellectual property from the South or something. And he claims to have asked his attorney general if the North owned this song again. It's kind of a weird story.
Well, there's a simpler answer. By his second term, by the time he had taken the oath of office for the second time, it was understood the South was going to lose. That's why he changed his vice president to a Southern Democrat, which would not work out for him in the end. And so he was doing everything he could to make it easy for the Confederacy to finally surrender and come back to the Union. He was really preaching hard about no hard feelings. We love you guys. Come on back. And so I think picking Dixie in public like that was just another politician way of showing no hard feelings towards the South.
Oh, well, that makes
Lincoln
sense.
was a brilliant politician, and we don't really give him credit for that. We think of him as more of this, kind of on a pedestal kind of brilliant guy, but it should really be remembered too, he was a brilliant politician.
Question 4, and the final question of the game. In 2009, Radiohead released a song called Harry Patch in memory of. Harry Patch was the last known person to have fought in which war? But
Ooh.
Harry Patch had just died recently when they released the song in 2009.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
Oh, I've got to guess.
I'm locked in.
All right, Kels, what's your answer?
I wasn't really sure about the questions. I just said World War One.
Deva?
Well, I did some gazintas, and you got to be pretty dang old to have fought in World War One and be the last one alive in 2009. So I said World War One.
Andy?
Yeah, I did the same thing. My grandfather actually fought in World War One on my mother's side, and he passed away in '86. Because I'm 125 years old now, and I think it's World War One.
And Allison?
Yeah, I mean, mostly I wrote it down because I wrote it down for the U-boats answer, but I also wrote World War One.
Correct answer is World War One.
Whoo.
Hey, I got one.
Points.
All right. So we've got, at the end of the game, we've got Andy with 188 points, Davo with 184 points, Kells with 142, and Allison with 58.
Oh, I thought I only had 56. Look at me go.
Okie doke. Let's do a final question.
All right.
Once again, I did not write these questions. I know I've done several movie-based final questions recently. This one is Barry's movie-based final question.
Okay.
And he compiled a list of what we believe are the highest grossing war movies of all time. And we're talking about domestic gross or US gross.
Mm-hmm.
And by war movie, These are they're not documentaries. There's no superhero movies. They're not necessarily true stories, although a lot of them are, and they take place largely during and about a war.
And can I just clarify? These are genuine war movies and not war movies that involve superheroes.
There are no superheroes.
That's a great
Okay, so then
question.
there's Civil Wars.
They're
Ouch.
all
Yeah, because like the one that you may be thinking of was the first Avenger,
Yes.
the Captain America.
yeah,
Captain America.
Yeah,
Or Avengers
I
Civil War or Wonder
or
Woman.
Infinity War. Or
Yeah.
no, these are real Earthbound wars.
okay,
Okay.
So Infinity War wouldn't have counted either.
Star Wars isn't count either. Okay, now you said
No.
Earthbound. Okay.
I think those were actually on the original list that Barry started with, but we took them out because he took them out because they're not real wars. And Wonder Woman didn't take place mostly during a war, did it?
World War One.
World War One. The whole thing's about World War
Yeah.
One.
Was it? Okay. No, there's no superhero movies. So I've got the top 15 here.
Mhm.
Give me any 10 of them for 10 points each. And if you come up with something that's not on this list, we'll look them up real quick to see if we
Okay.
missed it.
Do not attempt to adjust your radio. There is nothing wrong. We have taken control in order to bring you this brief announcement, and we'll return you to your podcast as soon as you've been informed. We just wanted to take a second to shout out the Trivia Rogues, our brothers in Trivia Arms. So if you're looking for a little more sensation with your information, give them a listen. We now return you to your regularly scheduled podcast, already in progress.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see your definition of war because I got some movies that.
Yeah, war adjacent type movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not all of the movies are about soldiers or about
Okay.
combat,
That's what I need to hear.
but the war is a major part
The
of
war is the plot of the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with this list at all.
Oh my god, I'm so frustrated. I have a movie I can only think of the name of the book it's based on.
I hate when that happens.
I know it.
You know how I don't like violent stuff?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually not doing too bad on thinking of war movies right now.
I'm locked in. I got 10.
Yeah, I'm locked in. There's some jokes on here, but when you're in the basement, you gotta keep it light, you know?
I lived that way for 15 years.
Yeah, honestly, Allison, it's probably not going to matter for you.
Right?
And I say that in the most polite way.
If I get one, I'm gonna be pumped. But I think I might get more than one.
I need one more war.
I mean, there's an outside chance you could make it to third place
All right.
if Kels gets none of them and you get all of them.
I'd be stoked if I broke 100 points.
I'm locked.
So you need 5.
Need 5.
I'm locked in.
All right. Okay, so as usual, we're going to start with the last place person.
Ooh, ooh.
And that's you, Allison.
Represent. Okay, so I actually have 11 because number 11 is a funny. So
Okay.
number 1, I said Saving Private Ryan. Number 2, Unbroken. Number 3, I thought it was called SEAL Team 6, but I think it's just called SEAL Team. Then Zero Dark 30, American Sniper, Hurt Locker. I haven't seen this next one, but Andy may or may not have, we'll just say, told me to watch it. 1917.
Did tell you to watch it.
Well, you did a little more than tell me to watch it there, friend.
Yeah. Sorry.
Then I wrote down Midway because I was talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
And you know what's really...
Clarification, original Midway or new Midway? There's 2 blockbusters.
I didn't know there was another, so I'll go with the new
Wouldn't
one.
it be funny if she got the old one?
Right. Then All Quiet on the Western Front. And then number 10, I've just decided that I think I'm going to put this in every episode. Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Epic battle scene.
Yeah.
And then number 11, Tropic Thunder. Oh, That's hard when
Thunder.
you give an answer and no one laughs.
Tropic
No, I
Thunder
was
took me a
wondering.
minute.
I was-
I'm actually thinking if that would have made the list.
Hang on. I just want to say this, Allison. Tropic Thunder is number 16 on my list.
Is it really?
You just missed it.
Oh man.
Are we
Okay.
supposed to get 11 or 10?
No, I thought I was throwing something dumb out, but my bad.
All right, Kels, what do you got?
Listening. Okay. I also have Saving Private Ryan. Casablanca. Gone with the Wind.
What the heck?
Kelsey and I are on the same page.
What the fuck?
What? Yeah.
Yep.
I know.
Whole thing Civil War.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Dances with Wolves.
Ooh.
Forrest Gump. Schindler's List.
Oh.
American Sniper. Inglorious Bastards. Platoon. And Apocalypse Now.
That was the one I was stuck on. All I could think of was Hearts of
Heart
Darkness.
of Darkness. I figured that's the one you were stuck on.
Devo?
No, my list is even worse after listening to Kells. I'm not happy.
Mm.
Saving Private Ryan, Schindler's List, Thin Red Line,
Oh.
American Sniper, Glory,
Oh.
Nice.
Inglorious Bastards, Pearl Harbor,
Oh.
Oh, that one stings because it sucks.
1917. It does suck.
It does.
The Patriot.
Oh, the most
Good.
historically inaccurate film in the history of inaccurate films.
Oh
It's
my.
bad. It's bad. And
The only thing it gets right is there was an American Revolutionary War.
it was. And just for funsies, I put The Great Escape.
I thought
Ooh, I
Nice.
just rewatched that a couple days ago.
it's a good list. That one.
Andy?
Love that movie. Platoon, The Longest Day,
Mm.
Saving Private Ryan, Schindler's List, Gone with the Wind, Casablanca, Apocalypse Now, Bridge on the River Kwai,
That's a good movie.
Full Metal Jacket, The Hurt Locker, and for my 11th quasi joke, because I imagine you guys didn't think about it, but technically, Indiana Jones is all World War II.
That's a war movie.
Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raiders of the
I got
Lost
it.
Ark.
But I had Raiders of the Lost Ark on there, and I decided that falls into the same category as Wonder Woman in World War One. Like, no,
Okay.
Indiana Jones is not. Yeah,
Necessary.
that's superhero. Yeah, he's not necessary, right?
Top Man.
David ruined that movie for me.
Yeah.
Thought everybody had a pretty good list.
Yeah, it was a good list. And I almost got the original Midway. That was a huge Hollywood blockbuster with all big name people.
I don't think it did that well, though.
No?
I don't think so. We'll find out shortly, but I don't seem to recall it doing
Like The Longest Day had a pretty all-star cast.
Oh,
didn't
The Longest Day was like a genuine giant blockbuster movie. Like
Also,
every
not the
famous
longest
person was in it.
I feel like there's a lot of good answers that you guys gave
That-
that aren't on this list that ought to be on this list. So okay, well, so here's the list as I have it. I've got about 24 on the list.
Mhm.
I think you all said Schindler's List. I've got that as number 18 with 96 million domestic.
I understand that though. I've seen
Yeah.
it and only want to see it once.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's not a popcorn movie. Let's curl up and watch this again.
So, like I said, Allison's joke answer is number 16 on the list.
Woo!
So, the top 15. Oh, I missed one. I missed one for Dave.
No, it's not okay.
Oh, it's okay.
Every answer for Devo must be tallied.
This is a close match, Davo.
Number 16, The Last Samurai.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Number 14, The Patriot.
Yay!
We know how Andy feels about that.
Yeah.
Unbroken,
Mm.
Okay.
Inglorious Bastards,
Yeah.
Good Morning Vietnam,
Oh,
That's,
I've
that's
even
tough.
met Adrian Cronauer before. I got to interview him when I was in college.
Oh, cool.
The real Adrian Cronauer.
Number 10 is Lone Survivor,
Oh.
number 9 is Platoon,
Yay.
number 8, Rambo First Blood Part 2.
Wow. Would not have gone there.
150 million
Yep.
gross.
Wow.
Number 7 is Lincoln.
Oh,
shit.
6, none of you got Dunkirk from a couple years ago.
Oh, that's a good movie too.
Erase that.
I've got Pearl Harbor.
Yay!
Ugh, turd.
9, Gone with the Wind
Yay.
at number 4. See, we've got 190 million on this list, so I'm guessing that has to be adjusted for inflation.
Yeah.
Number 3, 300.
Oh, wow. And I've seen that too.
Yeah.
I would cry foul on that one because that's a
Yeah, that
movie,
does not.
comic book based on a historical retelling of maybe a battle that might have happened.
Yeah, David's got a point.
Okay, then none of you got it.
Still there.
Yeah.
Still there.
So if we take that one out, then that moves Tropic Thunder up to number 15, and Allison still didn't get Tropic Thunder. So
Woo!
number 2, Saving Private Ryan,
Yeah.
Oh, same person.
and number 1 with 250 million domestic gross, American Sniper.
Woo.
Ugh.
All right, so by my math, Allison got 3, giving her 30 more points and a total of 88, and she's in 4th place.
Woohoo!
Kells got 5, bringing his total to 192, and he's currently in 1st place. Davo got 5, bringing him to 234 in 1st place. Andy got 3, bringing him to 218. Davo, congratulations.
Well
Thanks.
done, Davo.
Andy, where you went wrong is you were putting good movies on your list.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
A well fought
Popular
battle,
movies,
Dave.
not good movies.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for playing. Thank you, Barry, for such an excellent list of questions. Keep them coming. We love to have them. And from all of us here at the Brain Ladle Trivia Podcast, this is Davo with Kells.
Powerful pound. Sugar Ray Robinson, the greatest fighter to ever live.
Was that a Muhammad Ali
No.
impression?
That was coming to America.
Yeah.
Andy.
When you put your hand in a bunch of muck that used to be your best friend's face, you'll know what to do.
Allison.
Last year, I spent more money on spilt liquor in bars from one side of this world to the other than you made. Woo!
Worth the wait.
And
Yeah.
Bill.
Mark Twain said, God created war so Americans would learn geography.
Oh.
Sign off. That's spitting hot fire from the 19th century.
Greetings and salutations, all you good trivia people out there. I know what you're thinking. Hey, I really enjoyed this show. How can I get a little more? Well, here to help you out. You can look up these good people on Twitter at Ladle Brain, or if Facebook's more your deal, you can look them up at Brain Ladle Productions. Hey, they've even got their own webpage. It's brainladletrivia.com. Now, if you're feeling generous, you can join a Patreon, where if you donate $10 or more, you can even get yourself a fancy show invite. How about that? Until we meet again, this has been 44, and I'm glad you joined us. Hope I'm out. The preceding podcast was presented by Brain Ladle Productions. All rights reserved.